Hello everyone. Today we want to showcase a demo of how sensor data can be captured, routed to the DB via IoT Hub. We will also see the same being visualized using Power BI. We know that we won't have access to all the devices. So what we have done is we have created an app to simulate the actual devices. For example, windmill or airplane. Uh, However, for today's demo, I will focus primarily on the airplane. As you can see here, we have simulated the airplane cockpit controls, which sends the sensor data to IoT Hub. We have displayed various controls here, which are normally seen in the airplane. For example, you can see engine RPM, temperature, cabin pressure, altitude meter, uh, speedometer, or direction indicator. Now, let's start this demo by switching on the left and right engines. As we do that, we can now change RPM for both the engines, and app will start sending the same data to IoT Hub, which we will see in a bit. Realistically, with the engine switched on and we have some RPM going on, the temperature of the engine will also rise. We can simulate the same using temperature sliders on both left and right engines. So let's change the temperature. Using altimeter control, we can change the altitude of the plane. And, this is, yeah, this is just a control, a round control you see here. Yep. Since aircraft is now airborne, we can also simulate the change in the cabin pressure. We can do the same thing using the pressure slider. Let's do that now. Please remember, all these things, all this are generic data, which is typically generated from a real device. In this case, for example, an airplane. Talking of all this data, we can also change the direction of plane using the direction sensor. So this is just all data which is generated from a specific device, and since it won't be possible for us to grab hold of all the uh, devices, we created these simulation apps. Now we can also generate alerts in case something is not right. For example, if any of the engine got turned off, it will generate a alert. Let's switch off the left engine, for example, and we would see a warning. Yeah. So this warning which is generated, the system would this can be either captured, or we can send this to relevant people or systems. As I mentioned earlier, all this data from the simulation app is sent to the IoT Hub. There is a data route which is created, which routes the data to PostgreSDB using Event Hub and Azure Functions. Now let's look at the visualization part. Uh, so let's stop this, and we go to the visualization right here. Yeah. So using the data generated from the various sensor, what we have done is we have created few Power BI visualizations. Now, first one on the left top corner, which is speed versus altitude. Uh, so what it is showing here is that what is the speed at various times where the as per the plane's altitude, right? So now this can be interesting because we can use this to generate events in case the speed is out of threshold limits for any specific altitude. Next, on the right hand side is cabin pressure versus altitude. Uh, and similarly, this can also be used to generate alerts if the cabin pressure drops beyond a specific threshold. The other two on the left and right are for both the engines, the temperature, by altitude, or the RPM of the engine by altitude. Now, this is a very simple visualization what we have done, but based on the data which is being captured, we can have much more intelligent and much more robust uh, alert system, or which can be generated. Thank you, everyone.